It's your boy Luke, I'm on the microphone, so don't chill out and test the tone, cause I'ma press play when you listen to my CD.
Yo, it's your boy Young Jedi Fresh. It's the YGOG Podcast Show. I'm joined by my esteemed colleague and partner in crime, this guy.
Yo, it's your boy Splashy. We out here. Arthur Fist one time. Feel me? We out. What's good? How we feeling today?
I'm actually feeling a little under the weather. As you may know.
What we sipping on over there?
This is some ginger ale, man.
Ginger ale?
Yeah.
Nah, I think it's a seltzer. that ain't no ginger ale.
Oh right,
It's a seltzer. Yo, shout out to Vintage one time.
Shout out to Vintage one time. I actually was clowning Wifey.
You gotta show it.
I was clowning Wifey for this because I thought it was like the store brand. I don't know. I'm just conditioned not to like the store brand. Call me bougie, whatever you want to do.
It was definitely my first time seeing that, but it tastes pretty good.
It does.
Yeah.
So shout out to Vintage Seltzer one time, lemon lime. It's thirsty and keeps you refreshed and all that good stuff. It's good though.
I don't know. It's a Friday.
It is. Is this ruining our shot, super producer Vic? We good? I can leave this here.
Yeah, we alright.
You be tight at us, man. Producer Vic be like
Director.
It's like
it's Director Vic.
Well,
not
I'm just calling Super.
Okay, alright, Super
Vic.
Super Vic
Van Gogh.
We out here.
Holla at him. Get on his Instagram. You single, bro? Yo, holla at him for real, ladies. Get at that girl. Get at that boy.
ICTOR.
Get at that man.
VANGO.
We going to spot. We blowing him up. Wow, hold on. It's the YGOG Podcast Show.
Oh, okay, alright. Cool.
Giving Vic too much shine. No disrespect.
No disrespect. No.
You get your own show. That's all.
Go home and film your own thing.
Yeah, film your own thing. Man.
Wait, what we got back here?
Yo!
Wow.
Yo,
Shout out to the production team. Whoever came up with this idea, shout out to the production team. We finally got the logo up, you know.
Yeah, wow, that's great.
You know, we trying to, amplify and
look like a young Will Smith in my
what did I say last time?
looking like a young Will Smith.
We trying to revamp the setup. We trying to vamp up the setup.
Yeah.
Or revamp, so
Yeah, I mean, but real talk though, Vic, no, I'm just messing with him. Shout out to you, bro. We appreciate him. If it wasn't for him, we wouldn't have these great videos. So appreciate you, dog.
Seriously.
Yeah. Happy Thanksgiving. Thanksgiving was last week, man. Happy Thanksgiving, bro.
Did you eat a lot?
I didn't, man. I was eating, but I was just like, just taking it eat. I'm older, so I gotta watch what I eat.
You old, but you young.
Yeah.
Because you say you young Jedi.
Yeah.
And my apologies. I need to start calling you by Jedi.
Yeah, man.
So, young Jedi.
Got my lady's government name out there. Sheesh.
Shout out to her one time. You know who you are. Does she tune in?
Yeah.
She used to tune.
Listen all the time. She doesn't email us.
She don't email us.
But she listens.
Wait, on consistent basis?
She's never emailed us.
Okay, but
I guess because she can just talk to us.
But she watches it.
Yeah, for sure. Shout out to everybody watching, man.
Yeah.
We've got a few emails trickling in. Still counting on you guys to email us because it's not enough. But we appreciate those who've reached out to us over electronic mail. Appreciate y'all. Love the feedback. Thanks so much. It's episode 7.
Episode 7, man.
Season 001. Remember when I used to do that? I used to do 001. So long ago.
Season 001.
Yeah, remember those days?
Yeah. Wow, episode 7 already. That's crazy. And we also have video on YouTube. We have a YouTube account.
We got a YouTube channel.
Yeah.
Email us, Instagram us, and YouTube us now.
YouTube us. Subscribe to us. We just wanted to, again, revamp or amplify our, the show. And, shout out to the people that, tune in onto the podcast. But some of you guys have requested that you guys want to see videos. And, why not do both at once? So make sure you subscribe. It'll be dope if you guys left a comment while you're watching.
Please do that. Comment below.
If emailing is too much, maybe comment like what you want to see on the show. Yeah. Like certain topics, or
if you don't want to see us,
if you don't want to see us,
we don't even want to see you.
We could just censor our faces and it'll be blurred out.
We could just leave this up.
And we could just like do the talking from behind.
Yeah, you look like Dr. Octopus.
What? Wait, Dr. Octopus?
Yeah.
Oh, is that his name?
I mean, that's his. What do you mean?
From Spider-Man?
Yeah.
Okay.
Dr. Otto Octavius.
You
my
look
comic book
like
fans. Like a young Will Smith.
You look like Mr. Potato Head over here. A young Will Smith? Nah, I see that.
All right, I see the Mr.
Potato
Head.
Y'all like our logo? Like y'all.
Shout out to Can we?
Yeah, we could.
Oh,
shout out to
Cindy.
Shout out to Cindy one time.
Yeah, she designed our logo. If y'all need some help with designing logos, and you probably do, email us. We'll put you in contact with a great graphic designer named Cindy.
So what are we talking about today? What's been on your mind?
Oh man, I just been again under the weather.
It looks like Cindy is actually giving us a call.
Oh
my goodness! What is this?
Nah. Serious?
That's crazy. Live feed.
Can you call?
What do I hit her with?
I think you gotta hit her with the decline because we're live.
I gotta decline that. I'm sorry.
I mean, I didn't mean to do that. I didn't want to bang them on you. Oh man. He said he was supposed to put his
this
phone
was on airplane mode.
mode.
Okay. All right. We getting there.
He's supposed to be the young guy knowing the technology. Are you back in the frame?
We back.
Wow. We showing real bootlegness right now. Man. Oh man.
How we looking, Vic?
All right, man. Damn.
Wow.
He's still recording. This is live. There's no take 1, 2.
How am I? Yo.
Yo,
that's crazy.
Oh goodness, Lord.
I'm on. Oh, it's because I'm on Wi-Fi.
True that.
Do I need to be on Wi-Fi?
Wi-Fi, we're gonna lose the logo.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, hold on. This is what I'm gonna do. Sorry, guys. You keep rolling.
My name is Young Jedi Fresh. It's a OG show now. And good riddance, to be honest with you, because these young people over here are always talking how they know everything and they're better than me or better than us older folks. I'm getting tired of it, to be honest with you. But what I want to do is probably give you like a PSA right now about saying, reaching out to the loved ones during the holidays. We always have some relationships out there that get fractured. I don't know what else to say. This is actually kind of strange. I'm just making this up. Yeah.
Are we good? Back at it. Sorry for the technical difficulty.
Should we just...
No, we're not. We going with the flow. What
you gotta retake this,
Yo,
bro.
come on. No, we not. We gonna keep going. It's raw. We going raw.
All right.
We out. What's up?
Right. Super producer Vic said we good, so I'm gonna keep rolling.
Back at it.
Pardon us. Yeah.
So the hottest top. Wait, did you listen to the mixtape that dropped?
Which mixtape?
Tekashi 6ix9ine, Dummy Boy.
Oh man.
Dummy Boy, tiki taki with your. I don't even know what he's saying.
What I did hear is that Tekashi's not gonna be Tekashi for any longer. Daniel Hernandez from now on.
Mr. Hernandez. Shout out to Daniel, Mr. Hernandez one time.
You know what? All jokes aside, I don't want to laugh at someone being incarcerated at the moment with some pretty heavy charges against them. I didn't like his music. I listened. I tried to give him a shot. I wasn't a big fan, but over the past 2 weeks, he's been arrested and charged with a couple things.
Yeah,
shooting guns. Gang banging.
Didn't you say there was a New York Times article?
Yeah, so it's I actually read an article in the Times a couple days ago about Tekashi 6ix9ine. So shout out to the Times for this article. I don't remember the writer. So
we'll include the link. In the description so you guys could
take a look at that.
Take a look, see what we're talking about. But
so I read this article and it was actually extremely enlightening. You know what I'm saying, to learn about him and his rise. So from what I hear, he was a young kid when he was 12 or 13 years old. He lost his father. Comes from a family of Puerto Rican and Mexican heritage, living in Brooklyn, and he loses his dad. Obviously, that could cause a tremendous, pain in your life. And as an adolescent, people are going to take that extremely, difficult. It's going to be a difficult time for them in their lives. So he reacted by dropping out of school. He started getting in trouble, selling drugs.
I didn't even know that. I read the article too about it. I didn't know. I just knew that he was just popping on social media.
Right, yeah.
Saying reckless things. He was trolling. Right. But yeah, obviously I didn't look into who he was and like what he did. But by the time I found out, he's just saying guy with tattoo on his face, all over his face, rainbow hair, and he makes music. And shout out.
And you appreciated it.
Yeah. So, and I was just like, and then I started.
You read parts of it too, right?
Yeah, I read parts of it. And I think it's a good topic to talk about, just from our last episode of social media, and it just kind of reinforce that and how it came about. But yeah, I didn't know about this kid. I think maybe I saw like a repost on like funny comedies or something, and yeah, he just made dope music. Like I liked it, I enjoyed it, and his trolling is absolutely funny. He's a guy of, he got a good sense of humor, in my opinion. And but I didn't know he dropped out of high school. I did not know when he started making music, because by the time I found out about him, he was already huge.
Popular. He's already kind of rising. He was still rising.
He's still rising.
So he's he drops out, starts selling drugs, starts selling weed, and as a young kid in this day and age, he had an Instagram account, and he amassed a huge following just posting. I think it was he mentioned one post that kind of went viral. And that's how he began gaining this notoriety, and his followers started growing. So social media, this influence of social media, this act, that people kind of put on social media to amass a following.
It's a huge following. He has like 3.6 million, I think.
Damn, that's a lot of followers. So you can imagine a young kid growing up, catching fire. As soon as social media catches fire, your followership goes. And he was just a social media dude. And he mentioned in the article that someone said, "Yo, you should do music because you'd look cool doing it." Like, I'm paraphrasing, so along those lines. And that's how he got into it. It wasn't because Tekashi 6ix9ine was an artist right off the bat. He was kind of the social media star.
Did the article include like quotes, right?
From him directly
himself and from the lawyer. Yeah,
from a couple people. The quotes that they really got from Tekashi were from an interview on the No Jumper podcast. So shout out to the No Jumper podcast for providing that input, or the New York Times for extracting that input. But shout out to them. It was an interview between Tekashi when he was on the No Jumper podcast, and that's where this information came from. And him explicitly saying that he didn't that music wasn't a thing for him. It wasn't something that he aspired to do. He did listen to rap and hardcore metal, and that's kind of how he derived his style from. And he began making music because a social media fan of his told him he'd look cool doing it, and if I'm not mistaken, along those lines. And again, we'll link the article, but and that's how he started making music.
And then there's that topic of there's Daniel Hernandez, Mr. Daniel Hernandez, kid from Brooklyn. Right. Then there's Tekashi 6ix9ine, the rapper. Right. And then there's this rainbow-headed, gang-affiliated person screaming sets and repping sets.
Treyway, right?
Treyway. Yeah.
Yeah. And I'm not blowing that out. That's,
Yeah.
I don't know anything about it.
So, how did the article mention about how he got into gang affiliation? Briefly mentioned, like, what was, like, the timeline of it? Because when I found out, it was just he's just screaming these things, but
he was already screaming these things before when you were introduced to him. Right. Well, from what I ascertained from the article, it was pretty much he started making music, like had a low key buzz, and I think Trippie Redd collaborated with him. Yeah. And they got together, and Trippie Redd's management,
I think they were under like the same label.
Got in touch with, started managing Tekashi, a label out in LA. I don't know the specifics of that deal, but that's how he kind of began to blow up. Trippie Redd had a following. I'm not too familiar with him, but he had a following. Introduces Tekashi 6ix9ine. They do a song together, and he starts getting a buzz. So naturally, Tekashi goes back to Brooklyn. There's a small buzz, and there's a guy from the hood that they are aware of each other, or they've seen each other, or he's around the hood. I don't know exactly how that, but along those lines, again, the article be linked, and he was a known gang member.
Yeah.
And gang member X, I'll just call him, for this purpose, introduces himself or gets introduced to Tekashi. He hears of Tekashi getting a little buzz, and Tekashi introduces, knows him. He's a gangbanger, and he's a known gangbanger. He's an OG out there, and they kind of see some mutual beneficial things that they can exchange based on their backgrounds. Gangster X he sees Tekashi as a rising star, a lucrative, obviously,
right,
portion. It could be very lucrative financially, and Tekashi sees
super marketable too.
Super marketable, right? Because of this weird style, unique style rather, that he has. And of course Tekashi's like, yo, this guy's a gangbanger. Like, hanging with this guy's immediately gonna give me some street credibility. Right. This guy's knee deep in the streets. He's obviously doing whatever gangbangers do. And then as he rose, he started beefing with people. He started trolling.
He started trolling. Yeah,
trolling
is his thing.
Right, like the game, amongst other MCs out there, started trolling him on social media.
Actual people who was affiliated and partake in those activities and that culture, gang culture, like since I don't know, however
real gangsters,
real gangsters.
I mean, gangsters who obviously have made a name for themselves in music.
Yeah,
starts trolling them, and obviously I would be emboldened a little bit.
Yeah,
I got my little crew back here in Brooklyn who are gangbanging too. So why not?
Yeah.
Why not troll these guys? I'm gonna talk. I'm gonna pop off. I'm the king of New York. I run these streets. I'm robbing people. I'm committing robberies. And the issue here is that, when MCs say that kind of stuff, it's either based on past experiences and either they suffered the consequences by going to jail and getting out and cleaning themselves up and be able to do music. But this was art, like art imitating life imitating art, because he was actually getting involved in the criminal activity that Gangbanger X was involved in.
Yeah.
Right? And he, while making money off music, he was doing crimes.
Yeah, so he starts trolling, goes on a press run. He starts, doing interviews, even more views. I think on the Breakfast Club, he got it's the first time in a while that at the end of the day, all the views accumulated was over 1 million views.
Wow. And that's huge for them, right?
Yeah, definitely. So, starts doing previews. I actually got to see him perform live.
You told me that over the summer?
Yeah, it was I forgot what the show was, but shout out to Ted Park one time. He was one of the main performers over there at SOBs. And Casanova pulled up. Yeah, Casanova pulled up. Some Rock Nation people were there, and then I see this guy. He's hooded, and he just cruises slowly. He didn't have too much security. And then it was just Tekashi 6ix9ine performing at SOBs right in front of me. It was him in the flesh.
Yeah.
I'm like, yo, I've never been so excited and so
he told you pretty amped when he saw him.
Yeah.
I remember.
And nobody.
And Gummo was out at the time, right?
Yeah. And nobody even expected that, because I think there was an incident where something happened where he can't perform at the Barclays or Madison Square Garden. These big venues, it's a safety issue, so they don't want to bring him in. But it was just, anyways, not to go off tangent, but going on press, doing little sneak pop-up whatever shows, and then he gets kidnapped.
Right.
He got kidnapped. The guy, he kept on talking trash and doing his thing, blowing up. No one can come to me. I'm in LA. Yo, we out here. YG, where you at? What's up? I'm in your hood. But then I'd imagine if he's just, and then all the gangbangers out in LA, they try to locate him and see him through Instagram and find him. But by that time, he's gone in a hotel. But
was that the shooting? Well, I think
this was even before the shootings even happened.
But was that the shooting where YG got shot in Times Square?
No.
Okay, that was different.
That was that. I think that was post. But
this is when he got kidnapped.
No, this is prior.
Oh, prior.
So
prior.
prior to the kidnapping.
Oh, right. I remember this. He got shot at, right?
He's just going places all over and just speaking recklessly,
talking trash,
and people's Bloods and Crips, whatever, gang affiliation from LA,
accosted them.
Yeah, they were like very disrespected, and they're like, yo, I'm gonna go find this guy.
Right, of course.
This was like prior to the kidnapping. But my point I'm trying to make is he, built this team. He has gang members around him, all this safety and security, and then this guy gets kidnapped. Like it was like an abduction.
Right,
which I'm sure you guys may or may not know of, but you guys can look up that incident. It's all over. It happened a few months ago, but Tekashi got kidnapped, and after he got kidnapped, he got abducted into a car right in front of his crib, and he got he got smacked, he got beat up. Being blindfolded, whatever. It might be, details might not be super accurate, but, he went to his crib and, I think I don't know if his mother was there, but pretty much robbed his jewelry. He got robbed. And all I know is at the end that during the abduction, there was a quick moment where he was able to escape. So he just got out of the car. And fast forward, after you hear the interview, he actually found out that somebody is leaking information, and it's actually from the inner circle. It's from his own team. Mm-hmm. So then he fires everybody. Right, and he goes solo dolo. Right, and then this case came up.
Yeah. Well, apparently the kidnapping was because at the time he was beginning to try to distance himself from the Bloods.
Oh, from the Bloods, wasn't that? Okay.
That's why he got kidnapped. He got kidnapped by them.
Okay.
Because I believe, and again, correct me if I'm wrong, if you even know, but according to the article, he starts kind of denouncing his crew. Right. In his music. Yeah. And obviously being gangbangers, they got disrespected, and they set up the kidnapping. Yeah. And that's how that whole kind of ordeal happened, and then he obviously got out and came back. But during this whole time, apparently FBI's building a case on.
Yeah, and after just reading upon what's going on.
Because I don't want to. We don't want to tell the whole article.
Yeah, we don't. Yeah, we're not here to.
It's a good article. Read it, but
summarize it or whatever. But we figured,
yeah.
In reinforcing social media and just what happened. I think one of the key points that we're not here to talk about his full biography or timeline of everything that happened, but I think a good point that the article made was how his rise to fame and music and social media megastar his rise to fame was social media.
Tekashi 6ix9ine was a byproduct of the social media rise to fame, for sure. He didn't even aspire to be a music artist. That wasn't his goal. He was on social media. His unique character caught fire. His trolling. Yeah. He built himself. Right. And for all the hate that I give the guy from a musical standpoint, I got to give him extreme props for doing this entire. I give all the social media stars props because they really take nothing to something. They really make nothing from something. They're given a platform. Yeah. That is easy to use to interact to the masses, sort of like we're doing right now. Yeah. And they build the base. Exactly what we're trying to do right now. And he's one of the few who made it. And that's amazing, to me. But again, that thirst to be the most followers, the most powerful social media star, whatever that means, whatever that encapsulates, he was pushed to do things that ultimately led to what is looking to be his demise.
Well, I also feel like, from our last topic on social media on episode 6, I forgot to mention that you asked what the end goal is, right? And what I meant to explain what influencers do and what they bring to the table, right, is that it's a full-time job. There's
of course.
People doing this for a living, and I feel like, again, I don't know how Tekashi rose to fame. I mean, yes, he's unique, he trolls, whatever. Right. And personally, I just feel like it naturally just kind of like happened. I don't think.
Well, what do you mean, like the growth?
The growth.
Yeah, totally. But
yeah.
The social media thing is organic.
Yeah, it's all organic.
It's organic, right?
Yeah.
It's not. It's nothing. No one's forcing anything down your throat.
Right.
I'm putting this out there.
So do you think do you think Tekashi wanted to be an Instagram star, or do you think? I feel
well, he obviously didn't want to be a rapper, according to him.
Yeah.
Right.
Which brings up, and I want to get to that point on the article.
Mm-hmm.
We start seeing. You mentioned it earlier, like prior to us going live, but street cred and how there was a reverse, right? Like with hip hop,
right?
The upcoming, and that's what I want to talk about. There's people
great
who
juxtaposition.
like Pusha T. He's a drug dealer,
right? And
I don't know. Yeah,
his experiences led him to his music,
right? And his stories are real stories that he went through and he experienced, and
sure.
It's authentic, and he wrote it. It's his music, his artistry, it's his voice, his representation. Whereas Tekashi 6ix9ine, I don't even know like what he really talked about, but
he saw music as a stepping stone.
He saw music as a stepping stone
to grow more,
right?
To rise to more fame.
Because it said you should go ahead and make music, right? And then the gang affiliations, they saw, that's specific set. They saw that this could be monetized.
Well, again, it's another juxtaposition, right? Because it's I'm a social media star. I'm going to use my power and wield it to become a musical star to even further my social media empire.
Yeah.
And then, when you got to credit Gangbanger X because he's a businessman.
Right.
Obviously, how he acquires his finances is something needs to be doesn't need to be discussed. But he saw opportunity in a social media star who began to make music, caught a buzz to say, man, this guy can further the gang organization and I can make money off him. And Tekashi saw Gangbanger X and he was like, well, he's doing not so cool stuff like criminal activity.
Yeah.
What does the criminal activity do to any musical star or anyone? It boosts your credibility.
So it's not even that and my point was, it's not that you had to be a gangbanger or deal drugs to become a rapper.
To be successful.
Yeah, to be successful.
That's not the case, right?
I think it's just different how music, going through this music route, it would just reinforce it. It was just a stepping stone to this amassed fame. And the thing that I question is that he's making music, he's a rapper now.
Right. And
then because of his affiliation and being associated with a certain set, and they got his back, now he's a gangbanger. And there's videos and footage of him actually, doing certain things. So the article mentioned how it started with social media, and it was a reverse way of how it was, as if it's social media. Hey, I got popular, I got famous, and I'm rising to fame, doing different avenues of meeting people within the gang, and also trying to pursue music and doing that route. It just wasn't lifetime. I feel like it wasn't real time, if that makes sense. It's not as if like he was younger and like an aspiring artist, whatever. And
right, he wasn't scrapping to get like writing raps and trying to get into music labels.
Yeah,
he was amassing his following because of the shenanigans on social media. And
to my point, it's the authenticity of like your story.
Right, and that's right.
While his story was just like, as the music, whatever, as he's going on, the story is like being written, and he's becoming a rapper as he's going through this transition. I
think what you're trying to say. I think what you're trying to say is that the rise of a social media star is a path unique other than being a sports star,
right?
Being a musical star, being another kind of talent, an actor. Because of it, you're right. You kind of mentioned that real time. It is almost, it's in social media time. Social media time almost has its own timeline, right?
Yeah.
And it's pretty short.
Right.
I mean, for the most part. Some can extend it, but most, it's like, okay, you start to bubble, and then all of a sudden your following increases, you're promoting, you're on TV, you're doing commercials.
That's how you even become a rapper.
And that's, and then the savvy individuals go, okay, I've garnered the talent to attract people, to grow a following. Now I can't keep doing this. You have to evolve, and like anything.
Yeah.
And Tekashi's evolution was because of his already huge social media base.
Yeah.
He was able to catapult himself.
Yeah.
Through all the kind of the nonsense, and already kind of catch fire and be like, okay, I could do the music because I'm already here. People are like, yo, what's next? You're trolling. You're crazy. You get your crazy hair.
He makes some fire music though. In my opinion, his beats.
His producer.
His producer. Shout out to his producer. Whatever it is, he makes music. It's his name on it. He's rapping. But we have to give respect where it's due. He has some fire songs, and it's streaming. Like, I think it was top 50 already right when it dropped. It's
well,
right
I
next
mean,
to, yeah.
I mean, if any artist comes out with any type of music and it's either they die or they get involved in some kind of shooting or activity of some sort, sales are always going to blow.
No, but
right? No. What I'm saying, I'm not trying to downplay anything. I'm just saying, like, it just so happens his sophomore music album mixtape, I don't know what it is comes out when he's going to jail and faces an extremely long sentence. And the thing is, right here at the end of the day is, I'm not going to agree with the music, but I'm absolutely going to respect this kid in the fact that he created his own brand. I don't have to like it, but I respect the process. And now the sad part about it, and I'm crushed about it, even though the guy's not been the best citizen, is that the star that you created, dude, he did that on his own,
right,
comes burning down.
I mean,
and that's
I feel
it's
like
a wild thing.
Yeah, I mean, but in terms of who's hot and who gets excited amongst the youth right now, it is Tekashi 6ix9ine. He just has this energy and this natural attraction. He's popping. He's hot. And so with his music out, I think he got like arrested maybe like 3-4 days before the release.
It didn't even release. Like it leaked.
It leaked. Yeah, but it's on Spotify though.
Yeah, the label put it out officially.
Leaked,
and then they put it out officially.
But that's so. What I want to say to that is, again, that's how rappers, like those.
I guess that's how they're made nowadays.
That's how they're made. Uh-huh. And I also felt like with this rise and with this person, Tekashi 6ix9ine, just saying "F the world, I'm the king of the world, I'm king of this," and he has a huge influence too.
Well,
he influences these people on social media, and
they create their own music or their own kind of thing.
Well, and then also it shows the side of how this gang culture, this gang life, and repping the set, like it's there.
One, it's real.
It's real. Number one is real. And
number two, you want to play in the dirt.
Yeah,
you're gonna get dirty.
What's that word? He's like appropriating it. Is that the right word?
Oh, that could be true. That could be said. Yeah. I mean, he brings to light, and again, I'm referring back to the article. And I don't want to turn this into a Tekashi conversation, but the article says that it does mention. What was I about to say? Oh man, what were we just talking about?
We're talking about appropriation.
Right. It kind of said that he glorifies a lot of these negative things that people actually are struggling in these environments.
And then with the money that he makes, he with snippets, he spends it, and he also gives back to the community and saying, hey, with the wealth that I made, with whatever I glorified, it gave me money, and now I'm giving it back.
I didn't know that aspect, but if he was doing that, that's
but
like I said, I didn't agree. I didn't like the kid's music. That's really all it was to me.
And then you have these kids in the suburbs who I don't know, suburbs in Long Island, and also,
they probably
like,
love that kid.
Yeah, also like in the Midwest, like they go and they're like, because they live vicariously through him.
Yeah, but
and that energy also applies to me too.
Yeah,
I'm like, dang. So this is how like gang culture looks like. You see all these like bandanas. Obviously, it's all staged, and in the music videos, it's not like cool. Again, I'm not
glorifying or doing what he's doing.
Yeah, it just gets me curious, and I'm just like.
But going back to
it's a serious
thing, and going back to the point that you made earlier about these are how hip hop artists come to be.
Yeah.
And
you gotta accept it.
And I'm not saying that I gotta accept it, but that's why the culture, well, maybe not, well, the rap aspect of hip hop culture,
right.
That's maybe to me has kind of been a little bit watered down because it doesn't really take much, because again, you're catapulting yourself from your social media.
Yeah.
So the kids are already wet behind the ears. They're like, I mean, they're hanging on every word you say.
Yeah.
You could be saying duh, 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 duh.
Yeah.
These kids are like, yo, that shit is hot.
Yeah.
Over a dope beat. So that comes to, on the older generation side, we look at that, and maybe not a lot of us know this, but think about it. These artists, these hip hop artists now, they're not in the projects or wherever they're not in battle circuits trying to make a name for themselves like when rap rose to be, right? You stepped up in the streets, you had some raps, and if somebody wanted to check you, he'd come up to you and you guys would battle, right? That was how the origins of how battle rap came, and that's what people would do. Like, who's the best on the block?
Yeah.
Who's the best rapper out here? That's from neighborhood to neighborhood, right? Who's the best rapper out here? I want to battle him. Those days are over.
Now it's like, yo, it's your boy Splash. We out here, Instagram Live.
Yeah.
Who's the best rapper out there?
Yeah.
Y'all can't
ABC 1 2 3 4.
I'm
the best.
Y'all want to come at me? Y'all gotta make sure I see them in the comments. Throw some likes. At me, yeah.
At 'em.
But I'm like on Instagram Live. I'm talking to the viewers, talking to the world, quote unquote.
Right.
Come at me, but it's just you're behind a camera.
Right.
And also to that point,
where you can create the most utterless environment that you can. Like,
it's everything.
You think this is a studio?
Yeah. Psych? There ain't no studio.
This is the office in the house.
This office in the house.
It's the office in the house. Christ.
We got the super behind filming, making it beautiful.
Vic's on the boards. He's like a camera. I don't even know what he's using.
I'm using my iPhone.
Yeah, just my iPhone.
Y'all saw that? I deleted Instagram so I don't get no notification. I deleted my Instagram so I don't get notifications pop up in the backdrop.
I look at spreadsheets on this TV other than this, man. I'm on spreadsheets and look at email on this TV.
Oh, so
don't get it twist, man. We create an environment out here, you know what I mean?
To get back, my question to you is, how do you feel? So the point is, with social media, you could become anything and any role, as long as you have that following.
I mean, well, even if you don't.
Yeah, I mean, but
you need one.
Well, you
just need one. Everyone starts with one. Remember did you have MySpace?
Yeah, I have.
Remember Tom?
Yeah,
first friend? Tom was your first friend? Everybody's got a Tom.
Everybody got a Tom. Yeah.
It's what you do. It's Tom telling Sue, and then Sue telling Larry, Larry telling Mo. That's Flashy's the man. You know what I'm saying? That's how the social media. That's how it is.
Yeah.
Simplicity.
Yeah.
At its finest.
And once you you capture the eyes of companies, other brands when you get that K, 10K, 15K,
well,
20K.
That's the power.
That's the power. The influence.
Because companies, again, going back to the timeline, companies cannot organically create these magical plants of marketing like a social media star can.
Yeah.
Right?
They're direct to consumer. That's what it is.
That's what it is.
Yeah.
That is and we're marketing guys at heart, right? That is the goal.
That is.
If you can get directly to consumer without any mediums, your job is easy.
So how do you feel about that situation? I mean, I mentioned that, you just got to accept it, right? But that's what people want to do. They want to get Instagram famous, and with that platform, they're like, I could really be anything I want. I could be And there are people who started off, shout out to Inda one time. She's a fashion designer herself, and she just started, showing out her fits, her work, and she landed a job at Nike in Portland, Oregon as a designer, and obviously the brand caught her attention from her profile and her following. But so there are those successful stories where people use the platform to really showcase their work and build upon something and do that. But how do you feel about, just the messages, like what they're actually seeing when you see somebody like a Tekashi 6ix9ine? I just want to get viral, just like, Splash, Cash Me Outside Girl, and she's like a rapper now. And
Bad Baby?
Bad Baby with a B-H-A-D.
Yeah, bad baby.
Yeah.
Baby.
And you're gonna probably see a lot of those.
You know what it is? Is that right now we're at a precipice with our society and technology, where.
Can you elaborate on that?
Yeah. I think we're at a point where we're at a crossroads, right? We've seen how social media affects our society, right? We've talked about it in our last episode, right? It fuels us right now. Social media is. Everybody's on social media. Everybody's on Instagram. Everybody's on Facebook. Everybody grandmas, grandpas, kids my age, his age, or older adults at my age.
My pastor started following me on Instagram.
Everybody's on Instagram.
Me on it.
Right. Yeah. There you go. Shout out to the pastor on Instagram. Everybody, we really have to kind of, and what I'm kind of scared of is that we're not going to really take a step back until we find out what's until we find out that something's really wrong. Like, what is social media going to do to us, right? That may be a couple, I'm not saying it's not a couple months from now, but we have to, technology's moved at such a rate. Social media has moved at such a rate. We've never seen a phenomenon like this before.
Yeah.
Because when my kids are born, it might be a completely different landscape than it was when I was their age.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So I think the movement, which I think is going to start rising, I think we're going to see this a little bit more in the next couple of years. You're going to start seeing rises where it's like, ditch this, phone free, social media free. You're going to start seeing groups where you're like, you know what? Ditch the phone.
We sort of talk about like mental wellness,
right? Just not because we don't want to have immediate information or this and a third. All this consumption has to be damaging us,
and you lose your touch of what reality is.
Whether it be you lose touch of reality, or you become addicted to trying to aspire, like we mentioned, into something or someone that you don't want to be. Or you do want to be, but really in reality, you don't want to be.
Or you be somebody that you're not really are for somebody else, for those followers, for those brands.
Right. Create a persona. Again, these are all personas. Tekashi is a persona he created.
Is Splash a persona?
Yeah, for sure. Young Jedi Fresh is absolutely, we're personas that we're putting out there. But we have to kind of, I think, and I'm preaching, right? Don't get me wrong, but
Pastor Jedi.
We do have to kind of take a step back and go, what is this doing to us, really? Well, how is this damaging? And I think really what it is like shorter attention spans.
Yeah.
The lack, what really I see, it's the lack of wanting to learn anymore. Why do I have to learn? Everything's so accessible.
It's right there.
Why do I have to learn? And remember when we talked about in a couple episodes about the evolution of music? Like when I heard one artist.
Yeah. Why do I need to learn about Bobby Digital?
Right. Like I wanted to learn about other artists because the curiosity. It was like it's growth. It's how you it's discovery. Right now, discovery is who saw the news pop up on their feed first. That's discovery now.
Also, the thing is, you could curate your discovery.
Right.
So,
you very excellent point, bro.
Yeah.
So elaborate on that.
Whatever, it's like whoever. So before social media, before anything, you had to either live it, or I mean, by reality, by living life, you know, touch your hand on the stove and you're like, oh shoot, put
It's
my
hot.
hand on the stove. It's hot. You're like, oh, okay, so that's hot. You know, man's not hot. You know, whatever. Pot's not hot. Whatever. Stove's not hot.
Right.
And like, you know, if you go out and you see, I don't know, like somebody like on the street, or like it's cold, or like I'm throwing something else, but you know, from real life experiences you learn.
Right.
And that's what shapes you. And with magazines and with, you know, textbooks, like the physical things, you had to put in work for it, right? But with now we have the internet, and we Google everything. We have apps that tells you how to use your finances, or helps you better equip. And we have this freedom of what we want to consume on a digital platform,
like sports.
Yeah, sports.
I just want to see sports.
I
just want to hear good news.
Like food, good news, yeah. And so it's almost as if
you could be oblivious to everything that's actually going on.
Exactly. Because and I'm a victim of that too. Like everybody is. Because everything is so personalized, and everything is like, okay, Joe, what do you want to do today? Or like, what do you like? Let me come up with a good portfolio that matches you. And that's the same thing when you're on Netflix and you're looking at, you know, all the data and all that insight that's stored with your behavior and how you are. It's curated so that you might, you know, after you watch an action movie, you might only just see action movie recommendations for you.
I mean, we're talking on digital marketing 101, right?
Right.
I mean, when you're in search, okay, I'm looking for sneakers today.
Yeah.
What ads am I going to naturally see after that? I input that data.
Probably see StockX.
Probably see
StockX.
Probably see discounts. 10% off your first purchase. 20% off your first purchase.
Shoe cleaners.
Right. You're going to be... the marketing kicks in.
Yeah.
You're going to start naturally go... And then subconsciously that begins to hit. Oh, man, I got to take advantage of that 20%.
So it's a combination of, you know, with that data, other brands speaking to you and kind of feeding you, you know, based on your purchases, based on what you like, whatever,
right.
The algorithm. And then as you're being consumed of that, you're like, oh, okay, I like that. Let me go and explore into other avenues or different things. And it just kind of crumples up and it goes...
It's a circle.
It's a circle and it goes round and round. And while you don't even know that there was a freaking shooting in Cali, in Thousand Oaks, you don't even...
Point.
And honestly...
You're oblivious.
Yeah, you're oblivious to it. And I'm
on a sneaker set, bro. I'm trying to get these shoes.
I don't even know about, you know, the fire, what's going on. And
right, that's true.
So even with news too, you get to pick and filter out. Yeah, so in that reality and that... You know, I'm living on memes and I'm following like all these accounts. Like, you get detached to reality, and it's scary.
Well, it numbs you too.
It numbs you.
It's like it numbs you to the point like, you know what?
Sorry.
Yeah.
And also, it numbs you. It numbs you, especially to like your heart and your thoughts and your feelings. How. Oh, that doesn't affect me. Like
right, that's that. Yeah.
Like okay.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, what's, you know what? When all that news, because it comes in so fast, right? You can hear all the bad tragedies around the world in a minute. Yeah. Right. It like, what kind of impulses does that kind of start to block in humans, like in people, like where it's like, if someone tells you, you know, my friend just died in a tragic way, you're just like, oh man, that's terrible.
Yeah.
But it's like, damn, some guy in so-and-so country the other day got ran over by a train because he owed money to some kind of gang or something. Yeah. It's just, you don't care. It's like, we're not as... I feel like human beings... Don't you feel like it kind of feels like the compassion we go, it's like, it's almost fake. When you used to hear it used to be like mean something, like, wow, they're really expressing it. Where it's like, now it's it's like...
and now it's like, how can I... Google to sound compassionate, or like, what am I supposed to do? Like, what's the right thing?
Right. And now you have a machine telling you to go, well, you should talk calmly, or what? And it's like, how? What you say? We're going in a circle. Like, how do we discover? Like, again, when you get curated stuff, you're absolutely right. it just keeps circling and circling.
Constant sneaker news.
Sneaker news.
Yeah. And that becomes, and that's your reality.
Yeah. So my purchases tend to be the same.
Yeah.
Like, what happened to going, okay, I got this, and then doing this, and then naturally finding out about stuff because someone told you about it. Like, hey, I'm fishing. And it's like, oh, really? You fish around here?
Yeah.
Like, you use it as an example, but it's like, it's because what Google wants to know, they want to know all your interests.
Yeah.
So they just can keep feeding you endless advertisements or content, rather, that just keeps you preoccupied with that and maybe not thinking outside of anything else. Like, whether it be the news, whether about, man, thinking about your neighbor, or, that it's a crazy thing, man. Social media. And
I also felt like, just my 2 cents, I felt like your creativity, your imagination, like your fantasy, like,
it kind of starts to dwindle.
Yeah.
Because you can, again, the impulses, you can start searching this. Well, there's no more work involved.
Yeah.
There's no more thought.
Yeah.
It's almost funny because it kind of aligns with all these sci-fi movies and stories that we hear, where machines are going to just tell you what to do and think. Like, there's going to come to a point, again, and that's why I say, maybe not in my lifetime, but we're at a precipice where it's kind of like, are we going to stop thinking for ourselves and just go, Alexa, what do I eat today?
Yeah. I mean,
Alexa, what do I want to do with my life?
I think there was something like, Black Mirror, like, there's definitely...
I don't know that one.
On
See?
cue.
Alexa, what do you want from me? Huh?
On cue.
See, it's on cue, yeah. It's just not... It's talking to the young Jedi, not Mr. Splash.
It's Black Mirror out here,
wow,
for real.
Yeah.
Black Mirror type shit.
So I also feel like, so with that said, with the topics that we discussed, what are some steps that you would personally take to maybe detach from, what's going on? I know that's a out of nowhere question that I threw at you. Not to put you on a hot spot, but you on the hot spot.
Your guess is as good as mine, man. I mean, I can tell you today that I'll put my phone down less.
Yeah.
That's not gonna happen. It's only gonna increase. I don't know. I mean, again, I don't want to belabor the point, but everybody has their own habits on the internet or social media or whatever the case may be.
Yeah.
It's only gonna increase. Unless you honestly, there's an impulse, there's a drive where it's like, let's stop this.
Yeah.
But it's not, because everybody does it. It's where everything happens. We're on the cyber highway. Like, dude, you know what I mean? Yeah. There's no stopping this train.
It's only gonna keep going. You're feeding the machine.
Right. It's really, again, and that's why I keep going back to, not to be preachy, like, as a society, we have to kind of go, this is cool, right? And this is great, but what's the detachment from that? Right? So, like, kind of, and what I mean by that, it's like, okay, we work Monday to Friday, but we have Saturday and Sunday. We detach from work.
Yeah.
How do we detach from the internet? So, Thanksgiving was last week. Switch gears real quick. We're in the thick of the holidays. It's December 1st tomorrow. Had a good Thanksgiving. What about you?
Yeah, it was good.
Yeah.
I didn't really have a time to really reflect and see like what I don't think people even talk about what they're even like thankful for.
Yeah.
Usually we try to do that even like, I don't know, maybe at church a few years ago, whatever gathering, we would say, hey, well, like, what are we thankful for?
What are we thankful for? Yeah.
But I mean, did you have an opportunity? Do you even think about it? Because now Thanksgiving is just, let's get the turkey.
Yeah.
Show each other's food, what's on the table. It's all about, hey, thankful.
Black Friday. Yeah.
And then, you got your football.
I mean, like any other red-blooded American, I mean, food is on my mind 100%. Football is on my mind 100%. But you know, I'm living my best life, man. You know, over the past few years, and I'm always thankful. I'm thankful every day. I might not say it out loud, but there's always a point in the day. I may have not been doing it as often because of all the craziness going on in my life, but there's always a point where I say, you know, I'm thankful for a lot of things that I have, the blessings that I have. I'm always thankful for that.
Are you thankful during the bad times? Because it's easy to be thankful when something good happens, but you know, when times are tough, like, you know, not to be preachy, but
that's a good point.
I just had faith is easy when everything is going well, but but I felt like, no, I mean, I read a quote, like your true faith shows when, you know, it's time of turmoil and times of uncertainty, and that's what true faith is. So not only being faithful during the good times, or, you know, only during the bad times, but I find it so true, you know. When things are going well, it's so easy to say, oh, you know, all glory to God, and I want to, you know, thank you, God, but, like, you know, how's your relationship with God, you know? Like, if you're a child of God, you know, like, how does that, what is the driving force of, like, that relationship? Is that relationship based on your circumstances, or is it based on purely your conversations with the Lord, and the God above? So, anyways, to my point, I was just saying, you know, we should be thankful more often.
Yeah, I know.
And
of course.
Well, we could always be,
Well, I think, you know, not to get you off, but to get you off.
I was waiting for that. You finally did it.
I don't think being thankful has to do anything with religion, and again, religion does tie into that very deeply.
Oh yeah.
For some people, but to be thankful doesn't require acknowledging a specific deity, right?
Yeah.
Would that make sense? I think being thankful, as a person, as a human being, you can just be thankful. And again, I'm not trying to downplay.
I'm glad you brought that up, because for me, it's based on, you know, the message. It's amazing grace. Like, that's
for sure.
So no matter what happens, because God loved me and He forgave me, and, you know, He sent His one and only Son to die on the cross for me.
Sure.
That, you know, when I'm not supposed to receive this love, when Splash is a sinner and he does all this and all these mistakes, all these imperfections, and yet he says that he loves me and he, you know, paid the price for me. Again, I share this because this is the most important thing, and it does go into being thankful and being grateful. It's God's amazing grace upon my life that I do not deserve at all. No matter what happens, I can only tell myself and say, wow, like, Jesus, thank you. Like, thank you for that love. Thank you for still, like, loving me and giving me a second chance, no matter how many times I fail you. And I think that's why I brought up my faith, because, you know, there's a lot of times when during circumstance or whatever, like, you get bitter or you get upset, whatever it is, and you just start questioning, you know, God and, like, what He's doing in your life. But not to you know, get too preachy. I know I said that like 5-10 times, but I'm gonna probably get preachy because, you know, child of God.
Shameless plug.
I just for me, when it becomes being thankful, I think about His grace upon my life.
Yeah, no,
so, and that's not the only way for you to be thankful. But for me, it's just tied in. Like, no matter what it is, I didn't deserve that, and so I have no right to never ever be, like, unthankful or ungrateful.
Hey, listen, man. From your perspective, 100%, I can't disagree with you.
Yeah.
You know, a couple things. Again, like I said, I don't think, you know, I'm not saying necessary for me, but
sure.
Again, to be thankful, I don't think that requires any higher power. Again, not to downplay that at all. for me, for me, it's a little bit of both. I'm definitely aligned with my faith and thankful to God that for the blessings that he's bestowed upon me. But I'm just thankful in general, man. And to answer your question, yeah, when things were down, of course there were points where I was like, bitter, but there was definitely an example this year that's about to pass that I definitely was like, down, and I didn't waver. I said, you know what, this is a test or another challenge, and again, not to get too preachy, I don't think God would give me a challenge that I can't handle. So I'm always thankful. So yeah, I'm very thankful, and it's sad that we got to wait till the last 2 months or month and a half of the year to kind of reflect that. But I try to honestly be thankful every day. But it's the holidays, so this is a good time. It used to be a downtime for me.
Everyone started being nice to me at work. I'm like,
Did you really? Did you just notice that?
Yeah. Well, during a few days, maybe it's because everyone's excited for the 4-day holiday weekend.
Oh yeah, definitely people was pretty excited.
Yeah, but
I didn't notice because I was busy as
for the production guys, y'all know who you are. Y'all will never watch this, but I'm gonna send you the clip to this section. But yeah, some of the production guys, they're upset all the time. But
they were pretty chipper.
They were pretty, and I part of it has to be, they're like, Happy Thanksgiving, Sam. I don't need, and usually creative needs to do it, but he's like, no, I got you, don't worry about it. Anyways, people are, during the season, they are changing and they are, being nice. So
glad to hear it.
I hope it's just,
it stinks that it's got to be
I hope it's just not during the holidays.
Well, I think you do mean that people a little bit more nicer this year. I mean, people. It's not like people are just mean. I'm just saying people are a little bit more apt to going, hey, Happy Thanksgiving. Yeah, for sure. So it's holidays, man. What do you got? You got anything planned for Christmas?
For Christmas, I'm usually in LA. I have church service.
Going home?
Yeah, probably. Spend Christmas in LA and 70 degrees weather, and something. Just go to the Grove, to a mall, and play with fake snow or something where you water it, and celebrate an In-N-Out, or I don't know. Yeah,
celebrate it. Oh, yo, it's your birthday coming up too, right?
Hey, December 11th, holla at your boy.
Happy birthday, man! Happy early birthday.
All the goodies. My address is psych. You ain't gonna get my address.
Surprised you didn't say. Yada. New York.
Yeah, I mean, I'm excited. A few upcoming news. A lot of things going on in my life.
Praise up, blessings on blessings,
and God is faithful. And again, this was probably one of the most toughest years I've had. And a lot of things I would question in certain relationships that I've had with people, just certain doors closing and and new doors opening. So I'm happy that although there were times when I was down and bitter and upset, I try my best to remain faithful and stay strong and trust Him with everything. So it ain't about me. But what I'm most excited about is after this show, I'm actually getting my first pre-launch of my clothing brand, Child.
Shout out to Child one time.
Talking about tragedies and how we may be numb to certain things that happen and oblivious to what's going on around. My boy Vic is actually going on to a missions trip with his church, and it just happened to be the village in Cape Town, South Africa, that they were gonna go minister and share the message, pour out their love and do some community service, charity work. That there was a wildfire there, and there's plenty of people who's lost homes. And after reading that article, and it's an unfortunate event, that really hit home. And I'm like, dude, I should be more knowledgeable or put more of an effort in what's going around in the world. But anyways, so those long sleeves t-shirts, only 100 made, pre-launch of Child Worldwide. I'm receiving them tonight.
Oh, I got a shirt. One of those shirts are mine.
Yeah.
I got to pay my bill.
You pre-ordered?
Yeah, pre-ordered.
You Venmo'd me yet? Okay, anyways.
Wow.
So shout out to people who...
Did I Venmo you yet?
The invoice?
Cut this off, man.
So, yeah, to wrap it up, all proceeds, not all proceeds, all profits, whatever,
go in my pockets.
Will be going into his pockets, and I'm going to poke a hole, take the money back, and then we'll go to fund Victor's church mission trip and the team. So thank you guys. I'm super excited for that. And, you know, this is just an exclusive shirt. It's going to come out later on.
Yeah.
But anyways, I know I've talked too much, but that's what I'm looking forward to.
He has talked a lot.
And, yeah, Child Worldwide.
Yeah, man. Yo, good luck on that trip, bro. Blessings on that. Huge endeavor that you're taking upon.
It's like he's gone in like 3-4 weeks, so we're not going to have video.
Oh, man.
Yeah.
Maybe he can, like, you know...
Maybe he could...
automate something.
Or maybe he... Well, I mean...
Excuse me.
Maybe we could just press the record
We're going to
button,
record our next podcast after.
Yeah, we'll record it, and then the file, we'll just send it to him. And then
I'll have to do his thing out in
Africa.
Africa.
Give him a little shout out.
Yeah, he's going to be in the bush.
Yeah.
He's like, yeah, let me turn my internet on so I can get the YGOG podcast show edited. Yeah, no, Vic's totally that dude.
Yeah, we'll shout you out, don't worry. Yeah.
Yeah, for sure. That's dope. But for me, in closing, you know, just want to say thankful for the show. Thankful for you, bro. Appreciate us getting through episode 7. Thankful for Vic for producing this is our 3rd video with him.
Thankful for Cindy who made the logo.
Thankful for Cindy. Thank you so much for making the logo. Again, shout out to Vic. I mean, this is our 3rd video. He's really, we've got a huge invoice. We've not paid it. And he continues to go. He continues to listen.
What invoice?
Yeah, he must.
I don't know about no invoice.
He must not know I'm a great bullshitter because I keep going. I'm like, yo, the check ain't come. It didn't get there. I'm gonna remail it. I'm gonna remail. Let me. I'm gonna write it right now. You go to the bank with this.
Yeah.
But shout out to you, man. Real thankful for you for doing what you do for us on the video tip. That's huge. And absolutely thankful for everybody who's tuned in. Whether it was I know Sam's a little bitter that a couple people have kind of fallen off, but joking.
Yeah.
But definitely shout out and thankful for you for listening. If you listen to one, if you listen to 10 minutes, or if you've been keeping in touch with all of them, if there's someone out there who's listened to all of them and seen all our videos, like definitely thankful for you.
Oh, and
why haven't you emailed us?
Yeah, and the listeners,
and I listen and the podcast. I mean, this is a podcast at the end of the day. Again, check us on Spotify, Apple Podcasts. Anchor, shout out to Anchor. Anywhere where you can find podcasts nowadays, look up the Young G OG Podcast Show. This is episode 7. I'm extremely thankful that we're here. Hopefully we keep going, get another one in, and all of a sudden we're at 100. Fingers crossed. But thankful for you guys. Thank you to our listeners for sure. Hopefully we're bringing you quality content that you're enjoying based on the feedback so far. It has been. So make sure you follow us at the YGOG Podcast Show. On Instagram, and make sure you email us for any questions, comments, or concerns. We'd love to read them back to you on video or on the podcast.
Definitely.
Audio will always probably be available first because obviously editing video takes time, but shortly after audio is up, check our YouTube channel. We'll be on there too.
Yeah, I've been getting some comments from people. Hey, what about this or any ideas? Those are all great, and I'm sure you might get some feedback from your friends, but it would really mean a lot if you guys just shot us an email.
Be great, man.
And that way we could kind of interact with you guys and on the comment section on YouTube. So everything is just written down, and you know we could maybe make it more engaging and talk about things that you guys are interested in.
Yeah, we'd love to do that for sure.
My name is Splash. It's your boy Splashy. We out here, but then we in here, but we're actually out there. So that's it.
Yo, it's your boy Young Jedi Fresh. You're tuned into and the closing of the YGOG Podcast Show. Yo, happy Thanksgiving, happy holidays, Merry Christmas, happy Hanukkah, happy Festivus, Kwanzaa, happy Kwanzaa. Anybody celebrate anything? For the people who don't celebrate anything, shout out to y'all too, man. Peace.